First Minister, you're very welcome here to the FSB today. What are your priorities for small businesses here in Northern Ireland?
Well, obviously small businesses are facing very difficult times with the global economic recession. They have major problems in relation to liquidity. They have difficulties getting loans from the bank. The cash flows are difficult. Small businesses obviously have the same kind of difficulties that they've always had with regulation. And many of them even are having difficulties paying the rates that they're faced with because the spend at a grassroots level has gone down very considerably. So obviously we need to have growth in our economy. We've attempted over the last number of years to give some degree of certainty about rate levels. We, over the last 4 years, kept rate levels to inflation, and we've committed ourselves to doing that again. And that compares with well over 10% increases that we had under direct rule. And we'll give whatever assistance we can through the boosting business schemes. So there are a lot of schemes that people can plug into, but it depends largely on the sector of small or medium-sized businesses that we're talking about.
A lot of small businesses are very concerned that not enough is being done now to protect their future. Is there anything you can say here today that will reassure them?
Well, they are a priority. I mean, we have put the economy front and centre in our programme for government. I suppose no matter how much anybody does, there are more things that can be done. And I think Arlene has showed very considerable energy in looking at what can be done to assist. And as I've indicated right from the time that I was in finance, we have tried to lift some of the burden in relation to the rating burden that businesses have to have. And I think what we are doing generally in relation to streamlining government, the reforms that we have that are coming through on education, on health, on prisons and local government, all of that should reduce the cost of government. And if we can slim down the public sector, that clearly has beneficial effects for the private sector as well.
Your programme for government aims to cut waste and duplication. What's the realistic time frame?
Well, we've been undergoing very considerable reductions. It's been 3% year on year since 2007. So we have undergone very considerable reductions. Some of them obviously are cash reductions, and we've applied the savings to other more immediate concerns. But the reforms that are underway at the present time, we have agreed at the executive level, the reforms of local government. That will now work its way through the department. The same is the case with health. There's a major review being carried out by John Compton, and we're looking for the outcome of that. And the Minister's made it very clear during the last number of days that there will be difficult decisions that have to be taken, but he's the man to take them. And again, prison reform. David Ford's been moving forward with the review proposals. So we're not ducking and diving on these issues. We are moving forward, and the decision that we took in relation to the Education Skills Authority indicates that we're in the business of delivering on these matters.
The Secretary of State believes cutting corporation tax is the only game-changing measure that will transform the local economy. Is that your view?
Yeah, Owen's been very consistent and has been a champion of attempting to get the powers devolved to Northern Ireland for corporation tax so that we can lower those levels and be much more attractive. He is right to recognise that while there is no silver bullet, that if you're looking for a significant game changer, the power over corporation tax is the only thing that is on the horizon that I think can have the kind of impact that is necessary to rebalance our economy. So I very much agree with him, and we obviously support what he's done. And I think we have to recognise that he has put it onto the agenda in a way that none of his predecessors were successful in doing.
But there seems to be a lot of uncertainty about corporation tax. Where do you believe the process stands right now?
Well, I'm pretty sure where the process stands right now. The consultation period is over. The government have the responses. They've shared those with us. They will obviously publish their outcome of the consultation process. But they've recognised that in order for decisions to be taken, we need to have some certainty about what the actual cost to our block grant would be, how it would be administered, and a number of other if you like, housekeeping issues would have to be resolved. So the Finance Minister, the Deputy Minister, the Deputy First Minister and I, along with Owen and some of his team from the NIO and some of the Treasury team, will be meeting within days to start that process and try and reach agreement of what the costs and administrative arrangements might be.
And if it were delayed, what would be the impact?
Well, all we can do without having that kind of financial lever is do what we've presently been doing, but do it better. And that means, yes, we will improve in relation to the rest of the United Kingdom, but it'll be at a very slow pace. And indeed, before the global recession, we had an unemployment rate which was down to 4%. We're still with an unemployment rate which is less than the UK average. But the issue isn't even around employment. The issue central to corporation tax is rebalancing our economy between the public and private sector and ensuring that we have a vibrant economy that can grow. And that's a big issue. And I haven't seen any other propositions being brought forward that will have the same impact as corporation tax powers would.
First Minister, what could we be doing better to encourage entrepreneurship in our education system?
Well, I think maybe you've answered the question in many ways, because that's where it should be starting in the educational system. You get out of schools whatever the leaning of the educational process has been. I don't think there's enough in schools of teaching anything about business culture. And people may become good doctors, or they may be inclined towards the law or some of the professions. They may be inclined towards some of the other subjects that are taught by way of the normal classroom. But learning about business is something quite different, and I'm not sure that we do that well at school. And I think that's a culture that needs to be, if not taught, it needs to be encouraged right from the secondary level, and it's not happening to the extent that it should at the present time.
And if any business was struggling at the moment, it would be looking to remove any duplication in its operations, to cut out waste. Clearly, you've alluded to the fact that there's a lot of overlap and duplication in the education system. What's your commitment at the moment, and how do you see the progress of that in the course of this next period of government?
Well, I think there's duplication and waste at a number of different levels. Clearly, with the Educational Skills Authority, that removes some level of it. But I have to say, in terms of education, the real waste and loss is the fact that we have 3 or 4 different education sectors. I believe in shared education, and just look at the savings that there could be in financial terms. I think it's right for a whole range of other social reasons, but certainly in economic terms it would be massively important and would reduce very considerably the bill. And I believe the economies of scale would be such that we would end up with people even getting a better education than at present.
First Minister, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.